as always.
Well, I am just so excited to be here with you all. And just like John said, I hope that you will use that chat box to say hello, share ideas, things you're excited about, as well as that Q&A box so you don't miss any of your questions. And I'm in full screen mode right now. You can see my Eastern time up in the corner, as I mentioned. I'm based here right outside of New York City. I have Google Slides powered by Google Slides, captions down here at the bottom. If that's not your favorite thing, you can come out of full screen mode and just scoot the screen down and it'll cut it off on the bottom of the screen for you. And I'm very excited for today's topic. This is a new webinar for you all. So we haven't looked at this topic together before. So very pumped to spend some time unpacking this idea of how to use Book Creator for professional learning opportunities. Now, as you can tell, we are recording, right? We're streaming it out. And so this will go up on Book Creator's YouTube channel with all their other webinars, many of which I've had a chance to be a part of, and so many fantastic folks that share there. So welcome to those of you joining live. Welcome to those of you watching the replay. There'll be lots of ways to connect and share and, of course, chat a little bit about what you are excited around this topic. So if we haven't met before, my name is Monica Burns. I'm an ed tech and curriculum consultant, a former New York City public school teacher. And I would say about half the times I say that, I awkwardly point over my shoulder because New York City is that away if I wanted to get there from where I'm sitting today. Just a couple miles actually, although it would take a little bit longer than quite walking there. And so as we're talking together today, I will share some of my favorite things to do with Book Creator, a strategy that I use all the time in professional learning settings. And I'm just excited to spend some time with you to introduce this strategy, talk a little bit about how well it works for me in professional learning sessions, and why I think it's a really useful one to consider. So we'll unpack all of those pieces. And if you are following along today, feel free to snap a picture, share a takeaway, post it on Twitter or Instagram. You can find me, Class Tech Tips, there. You can find the awesome folks at Book Creator there too. I was just going through some tweets before we started today from an event I was hosting in Colorado. I did the keynote for Colorado's ISTE affiliate this morning. So it was just catching up on tweets there. And so, of course, if you have anything that you want to share on Twitter or Instagram, head over and make sure to say hello there too. Now, for today, we're going to do a few things together. We're going to start off with just a quick overview of Book Creator. I'll ask you in a moment how familiar you are with Book Creator to kind of set the stage for our conversation today. We'll talk about ways to learn about Book Creator, so some of the awesome professional learning opportunities that are built within Book Creator's platform, awesome free resources and ideas there. And then we'll go through that strategy that I mentioned, the one that I love to share with educators, which is how to model with Book Creator during professional development. And because we're talking about all things professional learning today, I'm going to share with you some reasons to create professional portfolios with Book Creator that you might want to explore. So we're going to cover a lot of ground. Use that Q&A box to ask any questions. Use the chat box to say hello or share anything that you like. We're going to have both of those spots open throughout our time together today. So let's first chat. I want to ask you this quick question. You can let me know in the chat box, but I'll pull up a poll for you in a moment too, or I think John's got poll controls, or we'll see. Now that I'm host, I might be able to launch it here. So first off, in the chat box area, would love for you to share, how familiar are you with Book Creator? Are you totally new to Book Creator? Do you use it all the time? Are you a Book Creator ambassador like me? Is it something you've heard of before? So Lisa's sharing very new, not familiar from Dimitri's. If you want to share with everyone, you can change the drop-down menu to panelists and attendees. So I see some folks that have heard about it, but are new to it, have worked with it a lot this year. Okay, great. So keep those coming. While you're sharing how familiar you are, I'm curious, and I'm going to launch this poll for you. if you could let us know, how are you using Book Creator? Do you use the free online version, the paid online version? That's what I'll show you today when I'm modeling. Are you new to Book Creator, so you haven't quite got a version that you're using yet? Go ahead and share in the poll. I'll leave it open for a little bit longer here.
I was about to say, Monica, I always forget that when I hand over controls, I can't launch the polls anymore. So
Same thing here, but now, John, I have to say I'm excited because I said poll control out of nowhere. It's not a term I use all the time. And now that's going to jump right into my Zoom vocabulary. Who has the poll control here?
We'll get it trending on Twitter.
I think so. Yeah. So it looks like about 3/4 of us or so have voted. I'll give you another chance if you want to share. And I appreciate everyone jumping into the chat there. I'm excited for you to be here, Stephanie. If you lead professional development classes for other teachers, I hope you'll share some ideas and get some ideas for us for today. I'm going to end the poll and share the results with you all so you can kind of see behind the scenes too. It looks like most of us are using the online version, so either the free or the paid one. Some of you use the iPad app. I know that's how I got started jumping into Book Creator. If you are new to Book Creator today, I'm going to show you where to get in on the online version and kind of orient you for that too today. So we're going to talk all about this together. Really excited to dive into these strategies with you. So for those of you who are here and who are new, I'll give us a quick overview of Book Creator, but if I move a little fast today, please know that on the YouTube channel, there's all sorts of getting started with Book Creator webinars. John is a fantastic resource for that too, sharing lots of favorites and lots of getting started strategies. So if we're moving a little fast here, know that there's some extra resources that will point you in the direction of as well. So Book Creator is an open-ended creation tool for iOS, so meaning iPad friendly, and the web, including Chromebooks. So I'm on my Mac computer today. I'm going to show you from my Chrome browser as we dive into some of these pieces. So students and teachers can create and publish books. I'm going to show you today where to go to find some ideas that you might think about from a professional learning standpoint, like you want to learn more about Book Creator, and there's going to be some examples that you can use to kind of look at. So we'll look at some student examples today, or where to go to find some, but we're going to focus a little bit more in this session on how teachers can create and publish books as a professional learning artifact. So if you haven't seen Book Creator in action before, just know that it is super simple to make interactive pages with voice, text, videos, images, and not just more, but so much more. And we're going to go out, look at it live together today. I'm going to share with you some different pieces to explore too. Now, if you are using Book Creator in an elementary classroom, a middle school, high school, secondary level, you're going to be totally set. I've used Book Creator with students in all of the settings, right? All the way from elementary up to adult learners, super flexible with how you might use this tool. So teachers can create libraries for students. We'll take a look at that together. And as you are thinking through all of these pieces, please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, if I move a little quickly through something, go ahead and place that in the Q&A box or check out one of those getting started resources and just know that that's going to be there and available for you. So when we look at Book Creator today, we're having a particular lens in mind about professional learning opportunities, but there are a lot of ways that you can use Book Creator with students, from portfolios to step-by-step guides, learning journals, poetry books, you name it. So today, we are going to look at some of the professional learning resources from Book Creator. And I know John already put that Book Creator webinars link in the chat. I'm going to paste a bunch of links in the chat today as I talk through. So just know that they will be there for you in case you are looking to dive in deeper. I'll mention a couple things, show them live to you out on the web, but I will paste a couple different links just in case you want to explore a little bit deeper than I'll go into today. So when it comes to professional learning resources from Book Creator, there are lots of things straight from the homepage, and that's going to be one of our sources of navigation over the course of today. Heading straight to bookcreator.com, you're going to see me show off a bunch of favorites right there. Now, when you are on the site, when you're right there, you'll be able to explore other resources that fall into a handful of categories. So that first link I just placed in the chat for you, we're going to go and take a look at it live right here before we dive in behind the scenes. So this is the resources page. When you're on this page, you'll find all sorts of remote learning resources, as well as things by grade level band and subject area. There's all sorts of student examples that you can find down here too. So for example, if you were looking for some math examples, I could click on the subject area math, and this would show me a great resource by Lance Key, all with different project ideas. And it would show me some different examples of what students have made and what some teachers have made. So because I'm showing it to you, I'm going to paste the math one in here too. But remember, if we go back to this resources page, you can see a lot of things in here that include examples and professional development resources based on subject area and based on grade level. So you might want to bookmark this /resources for teachers page because it's going to have a lot of great things in there for you. Great starting place. So there are also ebook resources specifically for professional learning. Now, I mentioned the math book, right? We took a look at that real quick, but there's more than just that. So in the resources for teachers section /example books, you saw me take us out to just the math one before, you'll find examples that go along with all different subject areas. And I just placed this example link inside of the chat too, in case you want to bookmark it. So here is this examples page. You can see here below that these libraries are all organized by subject area. So I can find all the English language arts books, the social studies books, there we go, languages that pop up here, science, math, so many different examples, PE and health and special ed, and then libraries that show you some examples from students at different age level bands. Now, if you are hosting professional learning for teachers, and I know a few of you mentioned in the chat that you are, this is huge for finding examples, especially if you haven't done a lot and maybe you don't have your own examples just yet. So there's a bunch of them, lots of great ones. If you head back over just to bookcreator.com, you'll see that right here on the page, there are some examples of what students are making, right? You can find different examples. And I have to tell you, and John might appreciate this too, I was working with a group of educators this morning, and I was showing off to them this example here, which is one of my go-tos or favorites from Xavier on the respiratory system. So lots of great examples that you can show off to the folks that you work with as well. So in addition to that set of examples, if you're already logged into Book Creator, you can find some more professional books to explore. So this app.bookcreator.com/discover might prompt you to log in, but we're all going to log in together in a moment anyhow. So if you are already logged in, you would move to the Discover tab. So I'm already logged in my library here. I would pop to the Discover tab. And this is where you can find more of the examples and some books that have ideas, activities, all sorts of things here. So if I click on one of these, maybe I click on the podcasting or digital citizenship one, it'll actually open up this book and I can navigate, I can move forward right through the pages, click around. This is one that I created all about digital citizenship activities. So lots of great stuff right within Book Creator in the Discover tab. This is one on emojis that I love to share. So I'm going to go ahead and place this right here on the page in case you want to take a peek at it. This emojis example is one where you can go through and get lots of ideas. So you might decide that you're, kind of thinking today about this being more around you gathering ideas for your own classroom, right? That's one way to think about professional learning today. Or it might be more about you looking for ideas to share with other educators in your community. Either way, these books are ready to go for you. So know that that's there and available. Another thing to consider, and you've heard me mention it already, and you are here together for a webinar, are the webinars that Book Creator hosts. You can find the long list, the full calendar right from their website. So the short link for this would be bookcreator.com/webinars. This longer one will take you there too. You can find these, add them to your Google Calendar, register right away, and get this snapshot. I'm in agenda view right now, which I always like because then I can see all the things that are happening in order that way. Now, in addition to the webinars, the live events like you're on now, and you might already know this if you're watching the replay, is Book Creator's YouTube channel. I'll pop the link in the chat for you there too. So this one, you can search by newest webinars or playlists. You can find lots of great resources. And just a quick tip, I know I talk pretty fast, right? I mentioned I'm from New York and I can just go, 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 go with all the info and I get so excited. But you can also speed up videos, slow down videos, turn on and off captions on videos. So you can use all your favorite YouTube strategies when you're watching these recordings as well. So if you don't subscribe to it, make sure that this is one you click on and subscribe to so you get a little ping or notification when something new goes up. Now, in addition to webinars, Book Creator's website is full of blog posts, case studies, story ideas from different places. So all you have to do to find some of these great resources is head over to bookcreator.com/blog. And you can also find the blog button at the bottom of Book Creator's website. So it's in both places. So once you're here, you'll be able to select by category. If you're looking for something specific, you can find it there. You can see some of the new content, newsletters are posted there, all sorts of ideas and updates. So if there's something new that happens with images, with text updates, you can find all of it here. Since I'm showing you this one from last month, I'm gonna place it there in the chat too. So lots and lots of things that you can explore right here in this space in terms of professional learning resources. The newsletter, which I pointed out quickly, is also one that pops up on Book Creator's blog. And if you get the Book Creator newsletter in your email each month, you can also find it there too. So lots of great things. I showed you that image update example. So it's a good place to go to just not only learn about new features, but figure out how you might use them or how it might change a practice that you already have in your classroom. Next up for us is social media, right? So if you are following along with me or with Book Creator on Twitter or Instagram, you might have seen some of the reminders for this special event or favorite things that we're excited about. Now there's of course the regular Twitter handle and Instagram handle for Book Creator, but I'm a member. You can see my Monica picture here in my screenshot of the Book Creator Teachers Group. This is a wonderful place to go to for ideas or inspiration, or even just to crowdsource something where you want to throw out a topic and see what other people are looking for. You might even find a partner class or someone to buddy up with in this group too. So definitely worth following along with if you are on Facebook. I know that I don't post a lot on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page, but I love Facebook groups and learn so much from different Facebook groups that I'm in, including this one. Now, in addition to the ebook resources, webinars, blog posts, social media accounts that you can follow, you can also dive in a little bit deeper to professional learning with Book Creator thanks to their certification program. I'm going to go ahead and put the certification link right in here. So if you want to become a Book Creator certified author, you can go through this program, learn all about it, and get some ideas. This is something that's great for self-paced professional development, or if you work with a couple teachers who are equally excited about Book Creator as you are, you might jump in here with them and all work through the program kind of on a similar timeline, if you will. Now, the last one I want to mention or category is kind of an all-inclusive and more category of all the other things that you can do and explore. There's the Book Creator Ambassador program. So if you are already into this world of Book Creator and want to join the Ambassador program, you can learn about that here. And of course, there is a whole page dedicated to delivering PD on Book Creator. So today we're looking at professional learning from kind of this higher lens, if you will. But if you want to deliver PD on Book Creator in your school or in another space, this website has a lot of resources that you can explore. So you'll find all sorts of ready to go resources including a direct link I'll put in the chat there on this Google Slides template all about leading a book creator training, things you might do, lots of tips and strategies. So a lot that you can find right within here. What I want to do is hear from you now. I've just shared a whole bunch of resources, a whole bunch of links with you. Which ones have you already used and which ones are new to you? Let us know in the chat there. So which ones have you already used and which ones are new to you?
I'll jump in here, Monica, real quick because nobody's typing yet. But I will say that, and it's not because I'm on the video for 14 different times, but I love the certification course. I think it's just a great way for teachers to take their time, go through the certification, really get a deep understanding of Book Creator, especially now when a lot of teachers are really spent on the whole, webinar thing. It's the end of the school year. They just need a break. So I really like that certification program.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you mentioned that too, John, because it made me think about the Facebook group, because I always get really excited when I see the I'm certified or like those posts come through in the Facebook group from folks. Let's see. I see a couple things that have popped in here to the chat and a couple questions too. Holly loves the YouTube channel. Bethany said that the Discover tab with the examples is new. So that's good to hear. Haven't explored the YouTube channel yet, Catherine mentioned.
Bethany had a question. Do we get a badge after the certification? Yep, you sure do. You can download that, put it in your email signature, put it out on social media. Yeah, it's a really cool badge too.
Awesome. Yeah, so lots of different things in here. I'm excited that you all are excited and have used a few of these or have a couple new ones that you want to bookmark and dive into. So we're going to transition a bit now that we know all the things that are out there to go out and explore. We're going to transition a bit to think about one of my go-to favorite strategies for hosting professional development and modeling with Book Creator at the same time. And I'm hoping that we can try it out for those of you who are joining in live today too. So when I host professional development and model with Book Creator, there's a couple different things that I will sometimes do. First off, we'll sometimes create project exemplars or great examples of a project that we know we are going to work on with a group of students later on in the school year. What this does is it gives us an opportunity to model, try things out, and have something to walk away from, kind of like a digital make and take, if you will. So for example, you might try out a biography book with the group of teachers you're working with, or a book that's all about sharks, or a science experiment or science journal, because not only does it let you press all the buttons and learn where everything is in Book Creator, it also lets you know exactly what kind of things students might need support with. And anyone who joins in with you for that professional learning session can walk away with a book they can then go and show their students. Another thing that I love to do, and one that I'm hoping we can try out together today, is creating a collection of resources with Book Creator. So with Book Creator, you can create a book, invite other people in, or have them each create one page and then stitch all the pages together. And so what this allows you to do is to have everyone in your group learn how Book Creator works, but then also have a collection of resources around a topic. So it's purposeful and kind of checks a couple boxes with their time together. So let's take a look at Book Creator as a group. I'm going to set up a new library, and shortly I'm going to invite you in as well. So I'm going to head over to app.bookcreator.com. I'm going to pop it into the Chrome tab here. If you want to join in with me as well, this is where I am now, and I'm going to invite you into my space in a bit. So what I do for something like this is I go and create a library. I'm logged in to my teacher dashboard, and I'm going to scroll to the bottom. I've got a pretty busy library right here. I got to do some housekeeping, I think, soon. And I'm going to go to create a new library, and I'm just going to do our demo for June 15th. There we go, on PD. Now, when you jump in here, I'm going to allow you to image search. I'm going to let you edit your own books and read other people's books. So just be mindful that whatever you make, other people will be able to see. And I'm going to turn off collaboration for now, and you'll see what we're going to do together in just a moment. So I'm creating this library for us. I'm going to invite you in just a moment, but right here, it's kind of good to go. Now, what you will do for today is you will, if you'd like to, join in with me, head over to app.bookcreator.com and sign in. When you get to this login page, you'll want to toggle from student sign in to teacher sign in, and you can sign in with Google, Microsoft email, Clever, you name it. So if you would like to try out this interactive activity with me today, head over to app.bookcreator.com, sign in as a teacher, and I'm going to show you what we will do together in just a moment. So head over there, sign in, sit tight for just a minute before I give us our next steps.
Monica, I hope I'm not stealing something that you're going to talk about, but just as a side note, while you're talking about this idea of creating a library where people can bring in resources, I can't express how often I hear districts not think about this kind of idea. And I'll talk about it during a phone call or something with somebody, saying as a district, if you're purchasing Book Creator, create a library for your district and have an exemplar library where teachers can put awesome student work into that library. And it's amazing that everybody's like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, I love this idea. It's just so simple, but it's very powerful when you can have these exemplar libraries or district created books or, whatever the case may be to share out with your teachers. So, yep.
That is awesome, and great to hear too that you are hearing people just get excited about that idea, whether they haven't got a chance to think about it themselves before or trying it out for the first time. And we're going to try it out together today. And what I'm hoping is that you will choose a page of the book that I'm going to create for us, and that you will add links, text, voice notes, whatever feels good to share a favorite online resource you use with students. And so I'm going to open up this library and start one new book for us. Now, the templates are fantastic. If you haven't seen them, you're going to want to take a look, but I'm going to go to blank books and we're going to do a landscape for today. So we're going to imagine that we are a group of educators in the same school, right? We might say we have an upcoming unit on national parks. Let's make a book together and we're all going to talk about the Grand Canyon. I'll pull in my favorite Crater Lake videos, right? So you can make a book all with similar resources together. But for us for today, we'll think a little bit more broadly. And I'm going to go ahead and just add in here some text on the page. And I'm going to put our favorite resources to share with students. And so I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to hit the inspector button. I could make this a little bit larger, center the text, maybe choose a different font, put it in the middle. I can go to the plus sign. Maybe I will import a picture. Maybe I'm going to put something like a laptop or a picture of a computer, since we're talking about favorite resources. I kind of like this one with the jump up and down there, but we'll go for this one here. And I'm going to place this on the screen. So what I'm hoping we can do is we can make some pages with favorite resources you have for to use with students. We're going to do this kind of as a collaborative endeavor, and I'll invite you in here in a moment. Now, what I can do for today is I can make a template for us. So I could say, okay, I want everyone to use the shapes to put the name of their resource in the blue box, maybe put a link to it or a reason why they love it in the purple circle. So I could set us up with a big template of what the name of the resource is and why we love it. So we could do something like that here if we wanted to. So I might say name of resource and add that here. I'll change the text just so the color pops a little bit for us. And then I can do a quick Control-C, Control-V, and I might put something in here like, one reason I like this is because. and I can add it in here. So what I'm going to do for us for today is I'm going to go to the Pages button at the top, and I'm going to make a couple versions of this page for us to use as a template. So I'm going to say copy, and I'm just going to copy it a bunch of times for us so that we've got a whole bunch. You don't have to use my template page when you get in here. I've got some blank ones at the end, but just in case you wanted a little bit of structure, this will set us up for some structure. So I'm going to share with you one of my favorite resources. I talk about it all the time, and it is TED Ed. So I'm going to copy this resource, this link, pop back over here. And on this first page, I'm going to say TED Ed. I'm actually going to highlight it and link it too, so it's really easy for you to find, and add it there. And then I'll say one reason I like this is because you can find engaging videos for students. Now, I could get a little bit fancier here. Maybe I embed one of my favorite examples, so I've got that as an option. You could really go in a bunch of different directions, but enough of me talking. I want you to help jump in to make this professional learning resource for us. So I'm going to go back here to my books here. I'm going to turn on Collaborate so that when you join the library, you can jump in and work on this book with me. And I'm going to give you the invite code. So if you want to join in, I'm going to copy this code and put it in the chat here. Let me see where my, oh, there's my chat. I hid my chat screen. Let's see. There we go. So there's the code. And if you haven't jumped into a library before, this is what you'll do. You'll sign in at app.bookcreator.com. Then you'll scroll all the way to the bottom and go to join library. And then you will put in the code and join the library. So I see that we already have 6 people in here. And once you're in, you're going to go to edit mode, pages at the top, and claim your page. So you can go ahead and choose any page that you want. I see some little people bouncing around already. Choose any page that you want and put in one of your favorite resources to share with students. So this will be our favorites collaborative book for our professional learning demo today.
Monica, there's a couple things. There's one question that I want to answer out loud, and then another one if you could demonstrate something real quick again.
You bet.
The question is, how do we make a PDF a background so the student can fill it in? And so the short answer to that is you don't. You can't take a PDF and make it a page that is editable. However, a solution to that is you could take a screenshot of the PDF, put it onto a book creator page, and then your students can add things on top. So they could add a text box on top of the PDF if you wanted to. So that's probably the easiest answer. The longer answer is you could probably recreate the PDF inside a book creator, make it a little more interactive, or change things around if you wanted to. But if you already have something that you like, take a picture of the PDF, add it into the page, and then your students can editate. That's a new word now too, annotate on top of the PDF using those features. And then the one, if you could redemonstrate, Monica, real quick, how to, I lost it, how to format the text. I did put a link to an article in there, but if you could just show people real quick how to format the text, that'd be great.
You bet. So I'm right here and I've got the text box from before. And if I tap on something, it has blue around it. So if I want to change the text, I've got to tap on the text. So it has blue around it here, and then I can inspect it. And when I do that, it allows me to make it larger, to change the font, and change the color. So it's all about inspecting the element. And in order to do that, you've got to click on it, make sure that it is blue all around. So I've got blue all around, and go to my inspector button here. So as I come back to show you these steps again, remember I got my invite code. You would share this with your colleagues. You would instruct them, like I'm sharing with you, to scroll down to the bottom of their teacher dashboard and join a library and paste in the code right here. And once they're in, it looks like there's 25 of us already. They can pop in here, go to pages, and choose one of the pages. And I'll make a couple more copies of this too. I see that there's a few of you who jumped in here already and are working. Awesome. If you don't have a page with my template, no worries. All you have to do is pop back here to the blank one. And when you're on here, this very last page, I see a couple of us are here already. You can hit the plus sign and just make some more pages, and you can make your own background, just showing the template as an example for you.
Yep. And Monica, I'm going to throw another one in here too. One of the questions was, how do I know which page that I can take? So in Monica's example, this is kind of a free for all, right? This is the way I do it when I do collaborative books. I just say, hey, grab a page. If there's a face on it, or if somebody started typing on it, then back off and go somewhere else. But if in some cases that may be a little bit frustrating for kids or teachers, things like that. So my other favorite option is to pre-label the pages with student names. So my son's class did this a couple of years ago. The teacher put everybody's name on the page. And so if Flippity Games was the name of one of our students here, then we know that that is the page for Flippity, right? And then on Extension and Dollar Street, everybody has their own page already pre-built, and they know which page to go to.
Yeah, and I appreciate all of you working with us today as we jump in and share, right? We've got a nice big group today. So you might see a couple people jumping into your space a little bit. As we go through, you might do a count off in a room. So if you've been in a room before and you have your colleagues jumping in these pages, you might do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, and we count off like we're on a field trip, right? So you can pre-assign pages like that, or have everyone go to a particular one when you want.
Susan asked a really good question here too, because with this method that Monica is showing you right now, and again, this is the same method that I use for 99% of the collaborative books that I do. There are still groups of students that concern you, and they're like, and you're worried, Susan, that they're going to go in and they're going to hack out somebody's page, and I totally get it, right? I totally understand it. It happens. So the best solution to that, and the easiest solution to that, is don't do collaboration in the traditional sense, right? If you're afraid that people are going to hack, you can, like Monica's about to show here, turn on collaboration and click that change button. And what that does is it allows you to choose which students will work well together, right? So you can pick the 2 that work well together, the 3 that work well together. That's one way. But the safest possible way that you can quote collaborate and not allow anything to be messed up is every kid makes their own book. And then when they're done, you're going to take that book and you're going to combine it with everybody else together and make one big book at the end. So that's probably the safest method if you're still worried a little bit about collaboration.
Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing those strategies, John, because there's a few different ways that you can address that. And it's always important to not pretend like everything will go smooth, right? We want to anticipate any issues that might pop up. And so going into a situation with that on your mind just means that your planning might feel a little bit different. So for today, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop back out to our full pages mode. You can pop around here too and see what some other folks are working on or excited about. If you got onto a page and someone else is sharing, or maybe you say, I love Google Geo Tools too, you might add your own response or your own link onto that page. Or you might even jump here and do an audio recording and go to the record button and share a response or a comment. I love all of Google Geo Tools and helping students travel the world too. So I can add this little recording, pop it on the page, maybe sneak it into the corner here on this page. And so it gives you an opportunity to really have a collaborative environment for your colleagues sharing resources as well. So much you can do here. I'm going to leave collaboration on. It's something I can turn on and off, which is good to know for your students. But I'm going to leave it on for you today as you are sharing some of these awesome resources in case you want to check it out and continue working within this space today. So in addition to thinking about this as a spot where you might have a collection of resources you create with your colleagues, you might also decide that you're going to create community-facing content here too. So from a professional development standpoint, you might pull together a book with 10 favorite podcast episodes for the month of June. And you might do a page for each podcast episode and an activity a family can do after they listen to that episode. And so you might make a book that really goes out with your community in mind. Now, if you are going to try that out, you might want to explore some of the templates inside of Book Creator. So you could almost do a school newspaper if you wanted to, or a mini magazine that has some favorite resources that might be more community facing. And what I love about this is that you, of course, can use the templates as they are, or you can make little changes or make the colors of certain fonts or add a school logo, right? You can really customize it too, even within these templates. Now, the last piece we'll talk about today before we finish up, so feel free to share any questions that you have, is the use of a professional portfolio and creating it with Book Creator. Now, I love using Book Creator in this way because you can plug in, copy and paste, upload pictures, embed a video, however you want to bring together some different artifacts of things that you've worked on or made over the school year. It becomes a wonderful way to gather all of the artifacts of your work from the year. You might also use a professional portfolio as a space to put in goals that you have. So you might add in a new page once a month with your professional goals for that month. And it's a great way to just capture this full picture, this full journey over the course of the year or even a semester if you wanted to put it along with that too. Now, I mentioned templates before. For this one, you might decide to choose a theme. So underneath the templates, if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see all the themes that are there. So this might be something that you decide to try out for a professional portfolio this year. So before we officially finish up today at our 45 after mark, of course, if you have any questions, you can start plugging them into the Q&A widget here in Zoom. I'd love to hear from you. What jumps out for you today? How might you use Book Creator for a professional learning experience this year? Go ahead and share in the chat, and I'll take a peek at some of the books that you are working on at the same time.
And just as a side note, if you haven't seen the chat window, to answer the PDF question, Stella from YouTube mentioned that she uses Cami and embeds a Cami PDF into Book Creator, and she said it works seamlessly. So I think that's fantastic. I had not thought about app smashing Cami into Book Creator just yet, and now I do. So thank you, Stella, for that.
Love that.
Susan says, book genres in English language arts class. Each child can make a book in their favorite genre.
Very nice. Yeah, if you have a idea for a collection you might do with your professional learning network, welcome to share that in there. I love the idea. Lydia is sharing here of creating lesson plans in Book Creator. So what a great idea there. So when you're teaching this, oh, thanks, Sarah, and with your task support app shout out. Yeah, you could definitely in a book club use this for weekly responses or updates. They can do a page that goes along with their reflections for each chapter of a book. So love that idea. You have to keep me posted on that one, Sarah. Catherine mentioned about having folks in the school community collaborate on a school magazine to make a class page. So what a great way to introduce a tool that could be used in all different types of projects and then have a community facing product as well. Let's see, are there any other questions, John, that I missed in the chat? Or if anyone is in the chat box and wants to put in a question, you can do that there or in the Q&A box as we are finishing up today.
This might be my favorite answer that I have ever seen on YouTube. What can we do with Book Creator? Stella says it would be difficult to answer what we cannot do with Book Creator, which I think is very true. A lot of times you'll hear somebody say something like, "Oh, well, you can use this for everything," and it's maybe overused or maybe not always true. But I agree with Stella. I have yet to find something that I cannot do in Book Creator.
I love that. And definitely same sentiments here. I use that term open-ended creation tool when we kicked off the conversation today. And I definitely feel that way when we have a blank canvas, choose your own adventure type of experience. There is just so much you can do. So usually I finish off webinars with pointing towards all the awesome PD resources like webinars, like the ebooks, but we talked about all of that as our theme for today. So I hope that you clicked on a couple links here in the chat. You bookmarked a few things that grabbed your attention. And if you have questions after today, whether you're watching on YouTube or here with us live on this Tuesday, I hope that you will reach out to me, to the team at Book Creator. So many things that you can do with this powerful tool. What can't you do? I think is a great final thought to leave us with today. And I'll pass it over to you, John, if there's any other questions or things you want to add in before we finish up.
All right, great. Yeah, just real quick, Susan says, please keep us up to date of our next sessions. So yeah, if you go to bookcreator.com/webinars, that's where we have all of our stuff on the schedule. We just had a meeting actually this morning about webinars, and we were planning out what's going to happen in July and August and things like that. So please keep an eye on bookcreator.com/webinars for more updates on that. And then just as another idea, Vanessa in the Q&A box said World Language Department Chair. Colleagues and her use collaboration in Book Creator on various common projects all the time. So yeah, fantastic there. But I love all of the ideas. I love everybody's enthusiasm. This was a great chat. Monica, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And Carla's asks, does it have an equation editor? It does not right now. I know that is something that we've heard from time and time again. So wouldn't surprise me if we had that feature at some point in the near future. But right now we do not. I encourage the use of the pen tool at that point, to do certain things if you can't use it. Even in the shapes feature, being able to look for math symbols is in there. So you can do those different things there. But definitely awesome. And then Keith wants to know where there'll be a level 2. The short answer to that is yes, there will be a level 2 certification program. The long answer is I can't tell you when because we have a lot of really amazing updates coming out, and that has put level 2 on the back burner for now because we have a lot of other cool things we want to get done first. But we do definitely have level 2 on the plans at some point. And Vanessa, same thing with accents. Yes, absolutely. On a side note, in terms of accents, if you use speech to text with your book, then you can get the accents if you choose the proper language from the dropdown. So if I spoke Spanish, I choose Spanish from the dropdown, I speak it, and then the accent marks will appear. And then sometimes with the accent marks, you can do that if you change your keyboard on your device. So totally up to the device that you're using and the situation. But yeah, awesome. Other than that, I think we're all set. Monica, I don't think any more questions in here right this minute. But again, thanks, Monica. We appreciate all you do and appreciate you coming in and doing these webinars for us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it and can't wait to be back with you all later this summer.
All right, awesome. We're going to go ahead and stop live stream. Thank you all the YouTube peeps out there.